Yeah, the guy's probably. No, okay.
We're going now.
Okay.
Oh, and I don't want to do it that way. I want to do it this way. No.
Hey everyone, Furball, Drone Shots, Corey Mano. How y'all doing tonight? Well, as you know, I think Louis P is gonna need a cup of coffee to get through this night. So what we're going to be doing tonight is we're going to be connecting these wires
Yeah, I gotta go get it.
to my ESC board. Let's see if I can get it in there. So it's my Mamba stack, which I have not yet taken apart. Hey, Desmond Dunders, how you doing, darling? How come you're not blue? Hey, Jackson. I gotta make you blue. There, now I smurfed you.
Really? Is that what you call giving them the wrench, is smurfing them? How smurfy?
Smurfalicious. Okay.
All right, I gotta get this. Oh, that cat is starting to yell again. Is he gonna throw up or does he want to go out? Which is
he wants to go out.
I hope so. I'd rather him want to go out instead of throw up.
Here's all my pieces. So what I did before we got on is I went ahead and tinned all these little guys. And then I I checked them to make sure that none of the little wires were splayed at all. Hey, TCM. So I did that. Let me get my glasses. The ones you all love. Excuse me.
I'm a smurf. Desmond Drone.
Okay, there we go. Now, do you like it better with the light or without the light? Uh-oh. Okay.
What helps you, Val?
Nothing. Okay. How's everyone tonight?
So the idea now is, as we were trying to discuss before, is you want to make sure that you have just a little bit of a nub of what you've tinned. You don't want a whole bunch of an exposed wire. So if you have any of those, clip them and make sure that they don't fall into or on anything that's important, like your flight controller. So you're just going to grab just a little bit of a nub and leave it. So let me see. If I were to give you something like this, check it out. So see how it's just a little bit of a nub?
Mm-hmm.
You do not want, let me see if I have something that's super long like this. You don't want, like if you could shorten, let me see if I can get that to focus in.
Okay.
So that would be a little bit too long. I would shorten that. I would clip that a little bit.
Okay.
I don't know if you can see it. So just enough that there's, exposed wire that is tinned with the solder that we've done before, but not a. Who do we have in the chat here? Kim, are you paying attention? I'm not.
Yeah.
Desmond Droners. How come Desmond Droners doesn't have a blue wrench? Come on, Val.
I gave him one.
Yeah.
Desmond, say hi again because he.
Oh, I see it. All right.
Sorry. I got you smurfed.
Yeah. Oh, that was that whole conversation. He was the one that was smurfed.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Careful with those claws. Yeah, you want to just make sure that you leave just a little bit of a tinned bit of the wire. Yeah, look at that. Canadian Drone Hub's on. Hi, Roger.
Where's Roger? Where did football go?
Oh, I took my camera off so I don't distract you.
Why? Because you look that sexy, Kim? You distract me.
That's right. You distract me. Distract me every day.
Man, I've been in quarantine too freaking long.
We all
yeah.
have been.
Oh, y'all.
We're just living the life. Some point.
Those are some sexy looking snippers you got there, Daryl.
She just got those today. Watch out, Kim. She doesn't know how to use those yet. She might hurt
Yeah.
you with them.
Kim was getting him for me for Banggood. He got him for me, and then we said let's do Amazon
Fine, good.
because with Prime, it's no shipping.
Yeah.
And it's better. God, that was
You-
long.
You need a pair of those small cuticle.
Yeah, you need
snippers.
the.
Who was that?
I don't know what the hell they are.
What?
Somewhere in here.
Why do I need some for my cuticles?
They're-
Oh, no. Oh,
They're
they're
really-
already on my table. These guys right here. You need these babies.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna have to return that one.
You know, find them at Walmart.
Yep.
If
What are
they're
they?
not closed or being looted.
Snippers. Those are perfect.
Oh,
They're just and they're super cheap. I don't know. They're actually really junky ones, but they're one of the better.
okay.
They're what everybody
There's a couple
uses.
that
They
aren't
work
tinted
they
anymore.
work they work well with zip ties too. You get them real close so that you don't get that little barb. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, the scratchy part. Yeah.
Yeah. See, Kim knows. Kim's got the in.
Well, that's because he's so distracting.
Yeah, so I was just gonna say if you need to re-tin it just to make sure.
Yeah, I
after.
want it written down from the whole thing because I wanted to
See, look at you looking more professional there. Now you've got the idea. See, before you were, I don't know what the hell. Why did you you reversed it somehow?
I somehow got confused.
Yeah. So you want to
It
bring the
doesn't
iron
hurt
to the
me.
wire to the solder, and you've got it this time. So
Spider. Oh, jump off. Guys, yeah, and I hate to say this, but it's hard for me to see with these things on. So you're gonna have to read the thing to me, Kim, because I don't think I can see it.
Come on,
Anybody
Kim.
can do it, I'll let you know.
all right. You didn't let us know about Spider.
Yeah.
Jump off, eh?
What the
What
hell
is
is
this
up
guy?
with that?
She might either snip a finger off or catch something on fire.
Just do it. Do it as a golf competition. You gotta be quiet and speak
like
in a
golf.
whisper.
Oh, I hate golf.
But only when I'm playing with somebody
Oh, what are
else.
you doing there? Oh.
I will poke you in the eye with this. Oh my God.
See, you got to talk in a golf whisper. You can't be yelling at people like that. See what happened? Oh, goodness.
Okay, I think I got them all tinned again.
I should probably change my name. I'm not Michelle Brown.
What, Shelly?
Yeah.
Okay. There we go.
You got it?
Well, yeah.
Good.
So now I think I should take this apart. Yes?
All right. So here's what we got to do. Now, yes, exactly. So you're going to take that apart. You're going to just have the ESC on the frame. And did you get standoffs with that as
Yes.
well?
Yes.
All right.
Uh,
So
Can I say something first?
go for it.
Val, be careful with your soldering iron. You don't end up shrink wrapping your wire before. If it gets hot, it might start shrink wrapping or burning your wire.
True. But at the same time too, Kim, that's kind of okay because I told her not to heat them up yet, because if we have any problems down the road, it just makes it a little bit easier to get that heat shrink off if it's not
True.
actually heat shrinked. So
True.
she's got it so that they're down and over the exposed wires, hopefully, right?
I need.
So if the heat does transfer down and does heat shrink and codify that heat shrink, that's kind of okay. I just kind of don't do it as a final measure because typically I always have a problem with one of the motors, especially if I'm Frankensteining something like this, that, like, oh, this motor is, something happened to it and I have to take it off. It's just so much easier to pull those off without having a heat shrink, without having it heat shrinked on already.
Okay. I need my regular glasses. It's a pain. Need all kinds of glasses. Here we go.
I know you should have one of those Rolodex switchers or something.
So this should have.
All right, so what you're gonna want to do is essentially here. Look down here. Let me find one.
This thing is supposed to have all the different ones in it. So that's what I'm trying to find right now.
Into it. And actually, even before, and here's one of the questions that I was afraid to ask you beforehand.
Mhm.
And this should be fun to ask you now. Do you
Uh-huh.
have a pigtail for this yet?
Yes.
Okay. What size is it? Is it an XT60 or an XT30?
Not sure.
The smaller one is the 30. The XT60 is the bigger one, which would go into like a 3-cell, a regular size 3 or 4S.
It came with the mini.
All right, so show it to me, because that's one of the next things we're gonna actually need to go on. I believe it will go on the.
Is this it right here?
No, that's the antenna for your VTX. It's
No,
gonna
it-
look like
you
it's
mean
gonna look
your
something like this.
Your battery.
No, I don't have one of those.
I kind
I'm
of
not
thought
going to
so.
be at that point anyway today.
Well,
You think, but no, I won't be. Believe me.
no, but the thing is that's one of the instrumental things that you need to put on first, as well as your.
Is it?
Yeah. So you seriously don't have a small little battery connector?
No. No. I don't. I would
Okay.
tell you if I did.
All right. So
Promise.
not a huge problem, but it is a problem. All right. So later on, or if somebody wants to kindly give her an Amazon, it's an XT30. She needs to buy some of these, both male and female, just for shits and giggles, but she needs the female one.
Okay, I can order it.
Well,
It's
somebody will
just-
throw it in, throw a link in for whatever, but it's an XT30. So essentially what's going to happen is that's going to go on to your ESC. So this is your electric speed controller. That's going to go on to here. Okay. And then those are those 6 around the side.
Yeah.
Right. But so what we're going to do, and it's not a big deal. We can put this on after, but we can at least solder up your ESCs. What I was hoping for today was we would solder up your ESCs and get your pigtail on and plug in a battery and hear it go dee, and that's all we would hear.
Okay.
Okay. So get on getting the XT30, but that won't stop us for today. We can go a little bit further.
Okay. So this is my flippin' screwdriver set that's supposed to have every kind of screwdriver known to man. And yeah, I'm looking good now. It doesn't seem to have the one I need.
And what do you need for what? To put the standoffs in.
To take these off.
So what's going to happen here? Check it out, Val. I might be able to clear up a question for you. So if you take a look, here's my frame. Okay. I'm essentially wanting to put my ESC on the frame. There should be holes on the bottom of it that you can feed up screws that will then hold your ESC on.
Hold on.
Now,
so I see a standoff, right?
Yeah.
Oh, great. I don't know.
And it depends on, and I don't know what you have or what you don't have, but what you essentially want is either a long enough screw or a small enough standoff that will go through the frame, thread through the ESC hole. You would be able to screw a nut on, and you would be able to do that 4 times around. And then the standoffs, or the the nuts with the standoffs, would be screwed into the frame, up and through, and then hold your ESC onto the frame. And that's where I want to get you to.
Yeah.
So that might look like a screw going through the frame with a nut over it, and then the ESC on top of it. Because you do not want to put your ESC on top of the frame, right on top of it, because that will ground it out. That will not be good. Right. You don't want your frame or your ESC or your flight controller to touch your frame or anything else other than just those plastic standoffs.
Okay, so hold on. Okay, so it's like this now. Can you see it?
Not yet.
I dropped a link for you, Val.
We saw it. Thank you, Kim. I didn't see it, Val. What now listen, kiddo, you know what? Unplug the two. Just get
That's
the yes. Just unplug one. Yeah,
but
just
I gotta
unplug it.
tell you, I have a little bit of anxiety right now, and it's coming through a lot. I'm feeling like I'm gonna start shaking. Now, it could be anxiety.
No, you're fine.
Or it could be that I just drank a large coffee. I'm not sure.
I have coffee. I gotta go get Kim. Can you take over and help her out? So while I get my coffee, I didn't forget about it. While I get my coffee, I want you to try and put that lower part of that stack onto your frame.
So see how there's nothing in it now?
Yeah, perfect. Now that wire that's coming out, that's plugged in, that's the front of the ESC, and you want to make sure that that's oriented on the front of what we established as the front of your frame.
That's right. Okay.
Okay.
Got it.
I forgot which orientation the frame was.
I got it.
Okay.
I know which one.
All right. Good luck. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go grab some coffee.
Okay.
Now here's some things that could be good. So Kim, isn't this the pigtail? You have to come back on. I can't talk to you being gone. Can you come back in?
I'm here.
Isn't that the pigtail?
No, that's just two wires. You need this.
Right. But these go in the end of one of those.
Yeah, they expect you to put a XT30 connector on it after. Did you get an XT30?
I don't see one, so no. Let me just say no. Okay.
So that means you'll have to buy one.
Hey, Drone Shots, what you doing?
Well, you can still solder those two wires on if you like, I suppose. Yeah, just ask Paul there. So you can at least later on, you just order yourself a connector and then.
Okay, so give me a second. So this is I don't know how to orientate. This is the thing. This is the thing that comes off. And I'm assuming I put this through here and just put it through, yeah? No, that's not right. Hey, Mr. Crowley, I don't know. I'm lost in the sea and I don't know how to find myself.
Is
that right? Do you see it? That's too far a standoff, isn't it?
All right, so here's what I typically do. The rule of thumb, and here's where it gets dangerous, is none of these parts are interchangeable. You have to kind of have an imagination to know what you want to do and how you want to do it. The idea is you don't want this to touch the frame. Yeah. Do you have anything that will make that happen?
Yeah.
one of the things, all right, so what I see there ain't gonna make it happen. So what I see, that purplish thing is a standoff gummy. It's something that's going to be used to help with vibration dampening.
Okay.
I would put, do you happen to have anything like this? Do you happen to have like a small little nut?
A gummy one?
No. Something like this, just a nut, just a small nylon nut.
No.
Really?
No, they gave me these. These like little ones.
Oh, I can't see. If it'll make it stand off from the frame, then use it.
Okay.
Because I honestly can't see what the hell that is.
I like my already assembled drones. Yeah, I'm thinking that too. Just because my stomach is
The leg bone connected to the knee bone.
Yeah.
It really is. So what I've learned is you've got to have an imagination on how it's going to be put together, because you don't have those parts all of the time. That's why 3D printing is so key to this hobby, because you're like, fuck, I don't have that part. Well, I'll print it. I'll make it. And the idea is you want that standoff or whatever you're doing to try and get that ESC to be on there, to be off from the frame and secure. And the idea of a standoff typically is that it goes through the frame. And it's so hard to do on this.
We lost your camera, Val.
How'd you lose my camera?
So that it goes through the frame. See the screw that's going through the frame here?
Hold on.
And then what you want to do is you want to put something in between that, like a nut or something. And this isn't even long enough. Maybe this.
Take a deep breath.
No, you'll figure it out. You'll get it.
There.
So I'll do it this way. So you see the screw going through the frame?
Yeah.
All right. Then you want something that's going to go between the frame and the next component, which is going to be your ESC.
Yeah. I'm putting those on right now.
Perfect. So what I always get into is I make the stack, especially on the 5 inches, a certain way so that I have 2 longer screws on the right side of the drone so that it goes far enough up so that I can also apply my style of VTX, of video transmitter. For instance, if you look at this stack, I have the ESC, I have the flight controller, and then I have the VTX. And what I've done is there's a screw that goes all the way up on this side, all the way up on this side, so that then I can thread through just a couple of either machined spacers or the nylon nuts to make sure that the VTX and the flight controller and the ESCs are all spaced apart from each other, that they're not touching the frame and they're not touching each other. Now on the other side, I don't have as long of a screw because the ESC or the VTX that I'm using doesn't go all the way across. So I only have ESC and the flight controller to tie down. So the screws on this side are smaller and they don't go up as far. The same idea has to hold true now with these micros. But typically the VTX, the video transmitter, is just as big as the other boards. So you're not going to have to do a typically longer or shorter, screw stack. You're going to be able to do the same size screw on all 4 screws.
So I almost wonder if, so do you see how this is sitting on there right now?
Yes. Now here's a question. Is there space? There's not space between your carbon fiber frame and your ESCs, so it could short out. So you need to do something like this, which is what I'm kind of getting at.
So those things, the reason why there doesn't seem to be the space of which you speak is because you see this right here, this piece. I need to put 2 on that other side so it stands out.
Then fine. Then do that. Then put 2. Then make it raise up that high. Now, what the only thing that you're going to be constricted for is how high the top plate is and how high the standoffs for your top plate are. Okay. So if your standoffs and your top plate are shorter than what your whole stack is, it's not going to work. So you want to make sure that your stack is just short enough under your standoffs for your top plate. Right. So that's why dry fitting is very important. So like throw in a standoff and put your top plate on and then kind of like just shove all those components in there and say, this is going to fit, or holy shit, there's no way this is going to fit. That I've got too much in here. You're going to figure that out by just dry fitting it.
Okay. So also, okay, hold on. Let me get this. Okay. Here's 2 standoffs on this side. Then I'm going to take this. Hey, Destination. Brendan, how you doing?
I'm only using the 5-inch to show you because it's bigger and you can kind of see it.
There.
But it
now, I want you to see if you can see. Hold on.
Like Val, if you can see space, beautiful. See, you can see space. Another thing is are there any spots on your ESC that is contacting the frame? If there aren't, you can put it as far down as a hair thin width.
See this
as long as it's not contacting anything.
This piece right here on this board is touching.
All right. So is it the plastic or is it any wire part? All right. So as long as it's fitting and as long as the plastic part is fitting, you don't want any like components or pads to touch any of the carbon fiber, because carbon fiber, the frame, is conductive.
Yes. Okay, let's go.
Sorry to be intense.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Don't you worry about that part. Because I'm not going to worry about that. Okay. So now I'm to this part. Yeah.
All right. So do you have your ESCs? So you've got four screws in your ESCs. Your ESC is stuck to the frame, right?
Oh my God, that looks terrible. What the hell?
What looks terrible?
This one.
Oh, did it just pop off?
Daddy just pulled off. It looked terrible.
All right. Well, then you didn't have it soldered on well. Go back through it. Was that the one that you just resoldered?
No.
All right, make sure those joints are secure.
Yeah. Yep.
I wish I could jump through and like say, no, that's not. So Valley, I totally appreciate you trying to do this with me, because either it's going to be an epic fail or it's going to be an epic win. Either way.
Well, I honestly think if it's an epic fail, it's okay.
Well, because it's an epic fail, I want to learn some shit. Because the way things are going back into school next year, man, it's going to be a rough go.
No.
And I'm gonna and I've taught music through through this medium before, but not as intensely as I'm going to have to if we go back the way we have to next year. And that scares me. So I want this to work. I want this to be a win.
I do too, but I took it off my helping hands, and I think that's a bit of a problem. I need it back on there because I need 2 hands to work.
Yeah.
I have just one of these things, and I'm just putting it. Let's see. Let's just clip it right here on the screen.
Phantom Hodges, do you know how painful this is to watch?
Is it? I'm sorry, guys.
No, it should be entertaining. We should be laughing along with this. This is just it's painful, but at the same time we got to learn from this. How can we do this better? Phantom, give me some tips, man.
Take down the drone.
Make a Lego drone. Those suck. I've made one. They suck. They fall apart. The Legos aren't firm enough unless they're brand new Legos. And then like after flying it for like maybe 10 hours, the Legos all rattle apart. Those suck. Trust me, I know. I've tried to use them. Remember when teaching be natural? Yeah. I like to be sharp. It's like a C.
I'm going to go over all these wires. I just don't think they're correct. If one's still pulling off, I don't have them right.
Yeah. So there's another problem that you may face later on down the road, that if those aren't soldered correctly and have a good joint, they may desync on you. So that'll give you the death roll. Meaning, if you're in flight and you go to execute a maneuver like a flip or something, it'll desync the motor because the joint isn't connected well.
Right.
And the motor will drop in ability, which, cut out, and it will fall out of the air.
And I would not be happy with that. Not even.
No. And that's another reason why you maiden and you test out in that maiden your drone before you trust it. Like, I don't trust a drone until I've like flown it at least 10, 15 packs through it. And then if I've had a hard crash or something like that, I don't trust it again until I have another 10 or 15 packs in it. Like, I wouldn't, like, if I just built a drone, I would make sure that I go out and fly it and put it through its paces and make sure that nothing's going to happen with it, both as, a video or desync or telemetry or anything like that. And then I would trust it. Then I would put it to the side and say, okay, this drone I'm going to use for like filming something important. And I would use that only for that because I could trust it. This drone I've put packs through and nothing happened with it. But if I use it again and then I crash it and something happens like to the video, then I don't trust it again until I've either fixed the problem and I've had a couple, a half dozen of packs go through it, then I can trust it again. So that's why maidening a drone is so important. You need to have trust with the machine that you've built, that you didn't make any mistakes in putting it together.
Red Dog Drones is here.
Hey,
John Kirby. Me too, man. That's all that stuff I just said before. BS. I only put the most expensive cameras and equipment on the riskiest, flakiest drones. It makes the whole experience more fun that way. Yes, it does. And then you know what you do? You fly it over water.
Oh, jeez.
The only drones, besides one, and I've lost 3 drones. The only other 2 drones that I've lost in the same spot in water, the Erie Canal.
Ooh.
Okay, Phantom Hodges, have a great dinner. Thanks for coming
Hi,
in.
Ben.
What's for dinner?
Val has the 2 wires, the red and the black, to attach. Just needs a connector.
No, she doesn't have the XT30, right?
No.
Okay, no big deal.
So I'll get with her after the stream and get her to order one.
Yeah. So they're going to come in a packs. So, but that's okay. She needs to start beefing up her supply if she's going to get into this hobby. How you doing, Val?
I'm doing okay.
I went out this morning and I broke my poor drone.
Oh no.
But I fixed it.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. I was flying around. I was doing power loops through this jungle gym. Metal and drones typically don't mix, especially when you crash them into each other.
Was it a fence?
No, it was like one of those like jungle gyms that's like a dome, and I was going through it and power looping it, and I didn't do it right. And I hear bong. I was like, oh, that didn't sound good. So I go running to it, and the motor's flopping off from it. I was like, oh man.
Looks better. Give my little guy. I think I'm gonna hook you.
She does the same thing I do. I talk to my drone as I build it. Come on, little guy, let's go.
Okay.
You'll make it. You'll be all right.
Val's shaking.
I told her the first time I started doing this stuff, I was like this. I was like, oh. Come on, tamp down that Parkinson.
Okay. No, I have a thing.
Oh, do you?
I shake. I can't help it.
My cousin, the weirdest thing, my cousin, when he's a big, huge guy, he's an excavator. So he like works with like, payloaders and big shit and stuff. But whenever he picks anything up, he shakes. I'm like, Gene, why do you do that? He goes, I don't know. I've always done that. And it's true. Ever since we were kids, I've always asked him, dude, why do you do that? I don't know. I just do.
My grandma had it too.
But I don't think there's Parkinson's doesn't run in our family or anything like that.
Mine isn't Parkinson's. It's like a palsy thing.
Oh yeah, like an e-palsy or something. Yeah, he doesn't have that either. So I don't know what his problem is.
It's just that's why a lot of people ask me. They go, "Well, I know you're shaking your head no," and I'm like, "No, I'm not." I mean,
yeah, he'd be like picking up his cup like this. Like, dude, what's
yeah?
But sometimes he doesn't do that. So
yeah, if I'm doing better with a whole bunch of things, it makes it a little bit easier, but it never quite goes away.
Well,
So
no, it's just better than
it's like
and all of a sudden you're like, yeah.
Oh, it's like a switch with him. It's either on or off.
Yeah,
it's weird.
Mine's almost always on. Can't help it. There we go. Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to watch on the lower video.
It is hard when someone says, how painful this is to watch. That is hard on me, only because I don't want to have everyone on here. Like,
hey, dude,
guys,
look.
really, if it's too much, I don't want you to feel bad if you can't watch it.
Look, we're either going to be successful or we're going to learn some shit. Okay? So that's where you have to take this. So just like the one hater last night or the other night saying that I don't know what I'm doing. Look, proof is in the pudding, and I'm going to get you through it. So don't worry about it.
Yeah. So now I'm going to ask a question. So we know this goes on. So should I tin these little pads?
Good question. Yes, you should.
Okay. So I have pads on the back side, pads on the front.
All right.
I think I should be doing them on this side because it looks a little bit bigger.
All right. No, wait a minute.
These don't look as small as I thought they were.
Calm down now.
Something wrong.
Hold on. Press the brakes.
Jump off says your hair looks great, Val.
Thank you, Jump Off. Someone's being nice to me.
All right. So Val, with where did my ESC go? Jesus, I threw it somewhere.
Okay, so
Craziness.
that's the front. So this actually goes on like that.
So
okay.
Okay, so what you want? Do you see the front end? Point to the front for me. No, leave it right where it was. No,
Right
leave
here.
it right where it was.
That's
Point to
the
the front. Okay, so point to the back for me.
That's the back.
All right, now do you see the back on the side? Do you see those two golden pads on the back?
Yeah, those are where
Okay,
these big wires go.
those are your battery. That's where your pigtail is going to go. Okay.
Yep.
All right, so let's start with those first. Those are going to be the biggest pads right now for you to tin. All right.
You know what
So-
I'm going to say? They almost look 10 now.
No. The pads on the board.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so the wires need to be tinned and the pads need to be tinned. Now, wait, put that down.
Ah,
Let me show you first, okay? You watch for a second before you get all crazy. Now,
hey, Green Patches. Hey, John Coopy.
I have two of the exact same pads back here.
Yeah.
Looks a little bit different than yours because it's a different ESC. Okay.
Yeah.
What I'm going to do, I'm going to show you what you need to do, and it might not come through very well on this. I'm hoping to get decent video of it. I don't know if I can or not. I wonder. Let me do this.
I'm
This might
telling
work.
you, I can hardly see. There, that's better. Go ahead. Hey, Ed. There we are all crazy. Oh my.
All right, so that's going to work a little bit better, I guess. All right, first of all, you want to make sure that you have a clean tip on your solder iron, which
Right.
you do not. That is pretty
So
dirty.
clean it.
Yep. So
Gotta
you
be
just
careful.
you just plunge it into your little thing
Yep.
that you have. I don't know if you can see, but it is cleaner.
It looks better.
It's shiny. So as long as everything when you're doing soldering, shiny is good. Okay.
Okay.
All right, so now you've got a clean pad. Most usually they're gold. Okay. Let me see if I can get a little bit closer to this. I don't know if I can or not.
Okay, ready.
Hoping I can. Can we see that a little bit better?
Mm-hmm. I see it.
All right. Okay, good. All right, so we've got the positive and the negative pads here for your pigtail.
Yes.
Okay? So
One's positive, one's negative.
right. Now, be sure which is which, and no,
Yeah.
put that down. Put that down. I want to talk to you before you do that. Okay, I'm going to do a couple of things to show you what you may or may not do correctly to correct yourself if you do it wrong, like if you bridge the gaps or bridge the pads. Okay. All right. So make sure, number one, you know which is which is the positive and which is the negative, either by knowing and remembering or having a pin out, which is a schematic of the board. Because what's going to happen is when you start and add heat to it and then put the solder onto it, you may obscure the positive or the negative picture that's next to it. Okay?
Okay.
So that's one thing that I found problematic. It was like, oh crap, I don't know which is which is the positive, which is the negative. Either you remember it or you know that you have a pin out that you can trust, or you just know that The left side is the negative, the right side is the positive, because it will become obscured. What's going to happen is if it's a good board, it's going to have flux already built into it. So when you apply the heat, this brown stuff is going to kind of ooze out. And that's what's going to corrode around the pad and obscure your ability to see the positive or the negative. Okay? All right, so applying the heat, what you want to do is you want to have your iron ready. You want to have your solder in hand.
Yeah.
Okay. And you're going to apply a little bit of solder to your iron first. Then you're going to touch the pad. And then you're going to apply the solder to the iron and let it roll down. And it will roll right into the pad.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to do it again. Put a little bit of solder on the iron tip, hold it to the pad, put a little bit of solder onto the tip of the iron, let it roll down, and it's going to pop right on. Now, I don't know if you can see it. You've got two nice little balls of solder.
Right.
Which is, you want to have enough solder that it's going to kind of ball up and over the pad, so that you can then place your tinned wire into that and it'll absorb it. Because when you're done at the end of the day, you want to have close to a nice little ball of solder over both the pad and the wire that you've attached.
Okay.
Right? Now, hold on. Put that iron down.
No.
Oh, okay. All right. So these pads aren't close enough to do the bad thing, but I'm going to do this on the ESCs. So I'm going to bridge two of these pads, which is a bad thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, again, put a little solder on my iron, put it to the pad, and then leave it on the pad, let the iron go, and then have that solder drift strip out. Now, I'm going to do it to the other pad. Now, I have two nicely soldered individual pads. What may happen is if you have too much solder or one of your wires moves over, you're going to bridge the gap. You don't want to do that,
Right.
Because obviously it's going to short itself out. Oop,
Right.
I don't even have enough solder to bridge it. So I'm going to bridge the gap, and I'm going to tell you what you're going to need to do.
I bridged the gap once.
Yep.
And I had to, that's what happened when my drone wasn't flying before.
Right. So and darn it, just like in music, it's hard to do when you know
And
you
I
want to
do
do
have
it.
painter's tape, but just not sure where it is right now.
Yeah, but all right. So painter's tape is going to be helpful. Here's what I'm trying to talk about. If a rookie mistake, and I don't want to, I literally don't want to do this to ruin my ESC here, but a rookie mistake is to put too much solder onto these pads. And then what would happen is they would bridge each other. They would run from one to the other. How you fix that? And I did not understand that this is how easy you do to fix that. You simply, if you have two pads that are bridged, you take a cleaned off iron and hit both of the pads that are bridged and just swipe. Remember how I had you swipe off that little spike on the wire? That's all you do.
Okay.
And it will fix and it will unbridge those pads. And a lot of people freak out when the pads get bridged and put more solder on, or it just becomes bad.
Right. I wouldn't do that. No. Yeah. Piece of chewing gum will work too. For real? I have gum too.
I don't know about that. Not to say it's not going to work. I've never done that.
Okay.
That's not how I do it.
No.
I typically clean my soldering iron and swipe it, and it takes the excess solder along with the cleaned iron. That's why it's got to be cleaned. And it unbridges the gap.
Okay.
All right, so the next thing now how you're going to do this, if you've got your ESCs oriented correctly onto your frame, which you don't have quite yet.
No, because what I wanted to do is I wanted to tin the pads first.
Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. You're right. So do that. My apologies.
Is that okay?
Yes,
If
I
missed it wrong,
I was getting totally ahead of us. I
Okay.
forgot. I thought we were already there, Val.
Oh, sorry. No, you told me put it down, step away.
Right.
Okay,
My apologies.
so-
I forgot. Yeah.
Okay.
So you're gonna put a nice ball of solder on each one of those pads. Be careful. Start with the bigger ones first. Oh, you got it.
I'm waiting
Great.
for it to roll down. Roll
It's all
down,
right.
you little hummers. It's on there, but it's not rolling down.
Now make sure your iron is actually touching the pad as well to heat the
Okay.
pad up, because you want the heat transfer on the pad,
Okay.
because the solder is going to go where it's hot.
Oh my God. Look at that.
Sweet.
That is
See,
good.
now listen. One of the reasons why that happens is because of the flux that's already inside of that chip, inside of that board. It draws that solder to it, and the yeah, isn't it nice? So if you do it just right, if you apply enough heat that it doesn't, completely, eviscerate the rest of the board with heat, the solder is going to go right to that pad every single time. It's just going to flow to it.
Here, I'm trying to get it to do the flow.
Oh,
no.
be patient. Be patient.
Okay, hold on, because I don't want it to get all over the damn place.
Right. And another reason why I want you to get the kind of a better soldering iron is because I want that high heat. And people will disagree with me all day, but proof is in the pudding.
So I see this here. I want to show you, but it's not covering the whole pad.
So then you don't have enough solder. Just flow more solder in. And here's a trick: wiggle around your iron to kind of gloss around it, and it will flow to those corners where the solder isn't hitting. Okay. You want to have enough solder on it, but you don't want to have a huge ball of it. Okay, because there's a happy medium that you have to learn, where you can put enough solder on it where it just puts a nice tasty little bubble, or you put too much solder on it where it becomes a ball. You don't want the ball, because that will typically end up into transferring and crossing over to another pad and just having too much solder.
This looks like it's, hold on. Is that too much of a ball?
That looks good.
Okay.
From what and I'm sorry, doing this remotely, it looks pretty good to me. The idea is you want to have a nice shiny pad covered with solder. Just a little bit of a, check it out, Val. If this is the pad, you want to have just a little bit of the solder balled up like this. You don't want to have it like this. You want to have it like this.
Okay.
Go ahead and do the rest of those. So you got 12 ESC's pads to do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take a break for a second. I got to run to the little boys' room. Furball Kim, come on, pay attention. Wake up.
Okay. Kim's just not even coming in. Kim, are you even there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
Don't worry, I'm watching.
I'm not getting this to flow off here at all.
Do you have any black tape? Maybe it's black tape the ESC down to the table, and that way it won't move.
I don't think it's moving is the problem, hon. I think it's what I'm doing.
You're doing okay. Just relax.
I am. What did you put on there that you had to take off right away?
Well, okay. Just that, is it me or watching a lady solder gets me excited?
Oh, Jesus, Kim. Jesus. Okay. Gotta make sure they're not touching each other. I don't even know if you can see what I'm doing because I don't know. Oh, there it is.
We're seeing.
Okay.
You just concentrate on what you're doing. Don't worry about the rest. You can inspect it after.
There we go.
Do the other side. That looks nice. What I see, it looks good. It's a little ball and it's staying its own side of the field.
Let's hope it stays there.
Do the other ones. Nice, nice. They look good.
This one isn't doing right.
Oh, don't worry. Like Paul said, you can swipe it after.
Jump off. 20 minutes to Wapner.
Wapner.
It's Wapner.
Oh, People's Court.
Yeah, it's an old reference to People's Court, obviously. And what other movie? Does anybody know? Kim? 20 minutes to Wapner. Kmart sucks. Two famous actors in it. I think one of them was a Canadian too. Maybe not. I don't know.
Could not have been Dumb and Dumber.
No, it wasn't Dumb and Dumber. Tom Cruise and Dustin Hoffman.
Oh, Rain Man.
Yeah. 20 minutes to Wapner.
Yeah. Well,
How we doing? Kim, you paying attention?
no. Yeah.
Come on,
Yeah.
pay attention.
I'm watching.
Pay attention or give me some change.
Okay.
All right, now, wait. Take a look with those googly eye glasses. Make sure that there's nothing been bridged. Make sure that you can see in between each of those ESC pads a little bitty bit of black. Shut up, Kim. Damn, that looks good. All right, so no, wait a minute. Was that, did you do it on the right side?
Nope, did it on the wrong side because I'm all about the wrong.
I think you did do it on the wrong side.
That's the wrong side.
No, you want to do it on the top. Well, you
That
could.
is the top.
Oh, that is the top?
It is the top.
As that goes down, that's the top. Okay, so then
Because this goes right here.
show me
Like
again.
that.
Okay, so that's the top. So check me out. Make sure I'm right. Here's your frame. Here's your ESC. It went down.
Mm-hmm.
Your pads are on the top, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right. Now you can
When this went down, this piece right here touched the bottom.
No, that was the plastic bit, right? That was
Yeah,
the
plastic.
conduit. That's okay. That's okay. Now, let me ask you this. Did it look, and you kind of have to eyeball this, and this is another reason why these components are not interchangeable, but as you put that ESC down on the frame,
Mm-hmm.
and that plastic part, the conduit that takes the wires, did it look kind of in line with, like, did it push harder down, or did it look kind of in line with the screws or the nuts that you put in?
It looked just straight
It
across.
just looked all level, right?
Yeah. And
good.
because what I had to do on the back, I had to use two of those little plastic things. And on the front, where this piece was coming down, I just used one. Right? So it made it stand up perfectly level.
Okay. You know what? As long as I'm happy with it, as long as it's level and no metal or plastic part of the PCB, the components that have all the wires and stuff in it is touching the frame. As long as that other plastic part is the only thing that's touching the frame, you're good to go.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So now slap that baby on the frame.
Okay.
Because let's solder these mothers up.
So should I not do the pigtails first or no?
Well, you know what? Let's do the pigtails, because you know what, the only thing you're waiting on is the XT6 or XT30, correct?
Right.
Yeah.
All right, so let's do the black and white on there, or the black and red.
Okay.
So again, make sure you know which is positive, which is negative, which is plus,
So
which
this
is negative.
Positive, this is negative.
Yes, we
On
know
here.
that. Now, here's another thing, another pro tip. Okay, sometimes you're going to interact with boards or wiring that the black is what? Positive or negative?
It's negative.
Okay. Red is what?
Positive.
What's white?
White? Isn't that is that a ground?
Is it? No.
Yeah.
No, black is always ground. Black or brown is always ground. Always.
Okay.
So now here's your lesson. Here's your lesson. White or red is either, and this is where it gets confusing, is either signal, where it's going to transfer information, or it's going to be 5-volt or positive. The positive could be the red. So you could come across some components that have a black and a white for power. The black is always negative. The white is going to be the positive and going to be the red wire. Okay. But it could also, on some components, be the signal, meaning it's not going to carry power, but it's going to carry information, like an S-bus, a serial-based information, or a PWM, a pulse width modulation information. That's like how the information goes across the wire. Okay, so you got to kind of be careful with that. That was one of the things that tripped me up when I was doing this. I was like, what the hell? Why are these? Because you'll get a coupling that will have black, white, red, blue, green, purple, and they all mean something.
Okay.
All right. So in your case, you're dealing with black and white, or excuse me, black and red, positive being the red, black being the negative. So making sure that you have the nubs that are tinned, and all you have to do now, and I can show you. I have one tin. The power wires. Okay. I think these are, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think these are like 20 gauge. Okay, so that the higher the number, the smaller
wire.
the smaller the wire.
Oh,
so
we love the video.
Oh, I don't know what happened here. Oh, battery. That's why I got to plug in.
Plug in, Paul. Plug in.
Plug it in. Plug it in.
You stay there and cool off, baby.
Bam. There we go. We back? There we are.
Okay.
Okay, so typically the pigtail, the wire that you're going to use for powering, is going to be a little bit higher gauge or thicker wire than what you're going to use for the ESC wires.
Right.
They're going to be, typically it's going to be like, I think 18 gauge, a smaller gauge for the ESCs. So it's a smaller wire. Or no, excuse me, 20 gauge for the ESCs, and then 18, whichever is which. The power wires are usually a little bit heftier.
Okay.
So that's going to take a little bit more power from your get everything squared away here.
So now, if I have this, let me ask you, if I have this tinned and I have the ESC tinned, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now all I have to do is put this to this and apply heat. Is that correct?
Okay, so that's where I want to begin. Okay. Let me make sure I'm lined up here so everybody can see it. Is it a decent enough look there, Val?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So I have both the pad and the wire tinned, meaning I have solder on both of them. So
I do too.
Okay, perfect. So rule of thumb, and what we hope for, fingers crossed, is when you put those two things together on top of each other, and then
sniper in the hand.
You're killing me with those glasses. And then add the iron, it should meld down to it. Okay. And if you're really careful about listening to it, like I like to listen, you'll hear this happen. Right,
Okay.
Kim? You ever hear that?
Yep.
So that's a good thing. Okay. So check it out. Watch. Don't do it yet, Vel. Watch me do it first. Let me see. See if I can do it. So I've got both things tinned. I've got I've got my pad done.
Hold on, Val.
Okay.
I'm just gonna add power to it. I'm just gonna go right to it. Boom. There it is.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's do it.
I'll do my other side here while you do it. Now, also too, help might be added with tweezers. If your fingers, like if you've never worked in an industrial kitchen before, you don't have hot hands. Hot hands are the ability to hold onto a hot plate before you deliver it to somebody or whatever. And you're going to have some hot fingers because the wires are going to get very hot, especially with the irons that I use. I like to use hot irons.
I don't think
Go
I'm
ahead and
putting enough pressure.
well, it should what should happen is it'll settle right in. That's
Okay.
another reason why I like to have hot wire or a hot iron.
I've worked
It's because
in kitchens,
it works better.
and the chefs got mad at you. They get the plate super hot, so when you went
And
to
throw it
grab
at you.
yeah. I didn't care. I was like, yeah, tried it, done that to me.
Nice.
Yeah, I used to bust tables a lot and I used to work at Burger King and do a lot of.
Is it a? Yeah. Got to make sure I can get in here and put some pressure.
Yeah, so essentially what happens is as you put the two down together and you add that iron, it just kind of melts in. It just settles in.
That's what I was hoping for, but it's not.
You see, and that's another thing that why heat and the correct iron is so important.
Shit. Okay, just give me a second to.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's going to work, but you want to have a good connection.
I want a fabulous connection, and I did it wrong. But one thing I will tell you is I need. Hold on.
I swear to God, it's taken me 4 to 5 years to get like NASA grade soldering. And I can tell you this, that I do have NASA grade soldering. But I've got a buddy that has told me that he works in NASA that, yeah, that'll work. You want to have a nice, tight, beautiful, shiny little ball.
A little quiet too. I'm not trying to be mean, but the more you're saying, the more it's going away on me. So not your fault, but I got to get it off and I got to fix it now.
Yeah, it takes time, Val. It just does.
Yeah, I'll just take a second to get it back. I want to make sure that this is not the wire.
Jump off A. Please tell us how to use a heat sink. Please. Maybe even have that person come on, because I honestly, that was a critique in the comment that somebody else gave us the other night. Use a heat sink. I've never used a heat sink. There
we go.
And you can look at, if you want, go look at my Instagram account. I've put all of my soldering up and you can see the good, the bad, and the ugly that I've done. And I've turned into really good. Louis P Floyd, Instagram. Go look at it. It just causes more problems. If you do it right, if you see, Kim, here's the problem that I have. I teach people how to play music. There you go. I teach people how to play music, and I give them rules of thumb, because one person's lip is going to be different than another person's lip.
Always.
Yeah.
And the rule of thumb is, and that's where the talent comes out. That's where the ability and the skill maturity shows, is in the person to be able to take the rule of thumb and develop it for them.
Yeah.
Because my lip is different than your lip, Kim. Your lip playing on a reeded saxophone is going to be different than my lip playing on a reeded saxophone. And I'm going to teach you something different when we play trumpet, because my lip is different than your trumpet lip. There you go.
Okay.
All right. So start plugging them away, put them in. So what you're going to need to be careful of, and what's going to stop us is because you don't have that XT60. Because what I was going to do was each time you put 3 pads in per motor, I was going to have you plug in and hear it go beep, beep.
Oh, you know what? Geez, I wish I had that.
I didn't think of getting you to order any of it. I thought it was in the kit.
No, no, you're
NASA style.
okay.
Yeah.
It happens.
So,
Okay. So jump off A. Do us a favor. Can you put together a video for us of how to use a heat sink? Because I shit you not, I have never used one.
Either.
I've never used one. And I'll tell you, I've built probably close to 500 drones. And I do not kid when I say that. I literally have built that many, or have at least helped people build that many drones, because I've taught students and classes, 25 people at a time, how to build drones, micro drones, all the way up to 5-inch drones.
that clamp I showed you, I used that when I was amateur radio operating. And I didn't
Okay, so you are a hammy?
Yeah. I didn't want the heat to get to a certain component because with the way they make them, if you got too much heat to it, it would desolder the other object. That's the only time I
So,
use.
Louis P.
Yes.
Can you see this? Is that too much wire? Because I'm having to bend it back.
Can you push it up against the frame?
No, you know what? That is a little bit too much wire. So let me show you. Hold on a second. Let me get one of my drones here. It's hard to see. Let me see if I can put it in frame.
This is
The idea, Val, is you want to have enough to work with, enough to have some slack on it, but not so much that it's going to be flopping all over the place.
Gotcha.
And the problem there is in the ability to solder skillfully. If you can't solder skillfully, you want to have a little bit more wire to work with, because if you if you screw up, you want to be able to cut it off and fix it. You get me?
I do. I am listening while I'm doing this.
No, I know.
Yes.
Sorry.
I know what you're saying, because you don't want to.
Yeah. So as long as you have enough slack that you can deal with it, it's not too much slack. You got to find the happy medium. And that's another rule of thumb with this crazy hobby. I found that the happy mediums is what persists and exists. So you want to have enough wire to be able to work with later on once it breaks, because it will break. And you don't want to have too much wire that will flop in the breeze and cause a problem, getting caught up in a prop or something like that. So it's a balance of those mediums.
Okay, I started doing it over the board. I was like, what the hell am I doing?
All right. So all right, here's another thing that would probably send Hadley's Famous into a fit of fury.
Hey, computer check.
You probably could, if you wanted to right now, throw some tape on that so that you're not throwing any splatters by any chance. Meaning, throw some painter's tape on the other parts of that component that you're not soldering to. So in case any solder flex or spatter goes over there, it's not going to short something out. And that is totally legit. However, I don't do that. I just am very careful. And I'm stupid too, where I throw solder, where I take a tip of my iron, and if I have too much solder on it, because I'm in my basement and I'm on a cement floor, I'll throw the solder off.
Or it lands on your pants.
Yeah, well, I've got a lot of burnt holes in my pants and stuff like that. It's not, the OSHA way to do it.
Oh, well, you do what you got to do.
But you get the job done. Yeah. I mean, if I were in a sterile environment and following procedures, I would hate it, but I would be able to do it. And I do, I want my stuff to fly. I don't want things to break in air, or I don't want it to be unreliable. So, I go up to the door and I knock on it, but I usually don't go through when it goes to all the procedures. Louis P never has a floppy. You got that right. All I gotta say is go look at my videos.
Back here, guy.
I'll show you a floppy.
You're doing good, Val. You're doing good.
Yeah. Take your time. And dude, man, you got some pressure on you. We've got all these knuckleheads telling you what's right and what's wrong. And knucklehead number one here, as I point to myself, telling you what's right and what's wrong. Just fucking do it. You're doing fine.
Yeah.
It's either it's gonna work or it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, there's people that can't solder at all.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, the hardest thing that you've done already is solder wire to wire. And the way I made you solder wire to wire is one of the hardest ways to solder wire to wire. So you're heads and shoulders above everybody else already.
Oh my God.
For me to solder wire to wire, I like both wires to be clean and just push them together and then squish them and sort of twist them.
Right, but you understand, Kimmy, we couldn't do that because with what we had to work with, we didn't have enough wire to do that. And I typically wanted to do that too.
That's what I basically do it.
Mm-hmm. But, well, we didn't have enough wire coming off of the motors to do that.
Yeah. But
So we had
when you do, that's how I do it.
Oh, goodness, yes. Well, that's the best way to do it. Now, let me ask you this, Kim. How much wire do you expose and do you mesh together? I typically don't want to do too much. I typically do a small amount and push them together, twist them, and then I do the solder.
You want like a millimeter of plastic separation between plastic.
Yeah.
At least a millimeter or 2 millimeters max, so you don't have too much of a gap.
Yeah, well, because you don't want to create a huge ball that the heat shrink or whatever is going to go over. You want it to kind of like flow to the same dimensions.
So when you put the heat shrink on it, it almost flows in one wire straight. No sunken valley.
Right, or bulbous valley too, because I've had that happen too.
Oh yeah.
All right, Val, I might be getting close here. I got to get some supper in me. My family does too.
Okay.
But I think we've brought you along quite a ways. I feel confident that you're going to be able to do the rest of this by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to continue on tonight. But the next huge thing is number one, we want to take a look at it. And if you happen to have a multimeter, we should talk about how to check for continuity, or I can get you a really cheap, little LED diode checker.
Okay.
So that when we plug it in, we don't hear or see any magic smoke.
Like one of those, what do they call those?
Not a smoke stopper.
Okay.
I don't use those. I usually use a diode connected LED light. So what happens is if I go positive to positive and the light turns on, yay. If I go positive to negative and the light doesn't turn on, yay. But if the light turns on, uh-oh.
Ooh.
Okay. I need that to go to that one. Duh. Stop jumping.
Heat sinks and are used in electronics housing. Okay, thanks, Jump Off A. Never enough time to learn something new, but I always try to.
Yeah.
Right. So literally, I've built a lot of drones and I've never used a heat sink. And I understand the concept of it, but in my abilities and skill level, from what I've done, I just don't use them. I just and get a nice hotter silvery ball, and I'm happy to go. As long as I don't cross something, cross the streams a la Ghostbusters, I'm good to go. Get a nice shiny ball.
Louis, thank you so much.
All right. Good luck, Val. All right. When do you want to do this again? Actually, let's set that up before another Tuesday. What, 7 o'clock again?
Yes.
Okay.
Will
do. All right. Thanks, Kim.
Take care, brother.
All right. Bye, guys.
Take care. Thank you, Louis.
Bye-bye. Have a good night.
I will. I'm wondering if I turn this down because I was playing with it. There we go. Kim?
Yep, I'm here. I'm always here.
I know. I appreciate it, dear.
Just take your time.
I don't want that to get a little splayed because if it does.
If it keeps slipping off before it heats, I usually
Honey.
heat the ball and just
Yeah. Okay, I'll do that. Because it does. It keeps slipping.
Yeah. Just heat the ball and then just push down on it and hold the heat there for a minute and it will.
It's on the wrong one now.
I saw that.
Honey, I just give me a little time without too much sound.
Take your time.
It's hard for me to concentrate with tons of noise. It's not your fault, but it's just I need to get it on there and then hold it down. There we go. That should do it.
Hi, Carpenter Rick.
Hey, Carpenter Rick. Then hold it down. I just got to be able to see it, but I see, Kim, that when it goes on that ball, if that ball isn't reheated, it doesn't flip and stay, does it?
No.
There we go.
There you go. It makes it a little bit easier that way.
Yeah, it does. You're right. You're absolutely right on that. So that's, hold on.
Let me see that set.
Hold on, babe. I want to make sure I'm completely separated.
Nice.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Hey, Carpenter Rick.
Beautiful.
Everyone's being mean to me, Carpenter Rick. I can't see out of these things. Only this up close stuff. Kim.
Take your time.
Yeah, I will. I need that little bit kind of heat so I can hold this down and have a go. Nope. Oh, come on. You son of a bitch. You can't hear me, right?
No, we didn't hear you saying son of a bitch.
Good. As long as you didn't hear that.
Not at all.
I try to be good, but geez.
Say what you want. It's your stream. If you want to cuss.
There we go.
Beautiful. I saw that go on.
You know what I didn't do? I didn't cut it shorter. Or these, I forgot. But I'm just gonna do it. I'll just figure it out. You can go back. I'm so over this right now.
When you go to check it, make sure that it does its songs.
Right.
Then you can just go back and you can cut the wire, make it shorter. Just be careful your soldering iron doesn't touch anything else it's not supposed to.
Okay. Got it. Touch
your balls.
Louis P is really nice to do that for me. Hold on, I gotta get a little cleaner. Not clean enough.
Just breathe.
I am, honey.
Cool.
Oh, that went really nice. Again, the wires are probably too long.
Well, you can come back as long as once you're sure that it's got connections and that.
Come on. Okay, hold on. Get this right there.
After you can use your tweezers.
You know, I have so much flippin' painter's tape. I cannot believe I don't know where it is. After all this hard work, Val's first flight, he has to fly away. No, don't say it. Oh, I thought I put two wires together and soldered them in. Okay, let's get this going. Come on, come on. I want you down on there. Stay there.
Eat the ball. Thanks everybody for leaving a like for Val.
Did someone leave likes for me? Thank you,
Maybe.
guys. I know this is like watching paint dry, and I'm sorry.
Yeah, but you don't get to see too often a woman soldering a quad, especially in their later years.
In my later years. In my ancient years. No, you know why I don't mind doing this way? Because I've had people I've talked to who said they just don't know where to start. And I just feel like if they see me do this, they're going to be, oh yeah, I got this. Right? Because I don't have this as much as they'll have it. I just want to make sure everyone
2
knows.
years ago, you never thought you'd be doing this, Val.
Yeah. Want to clean this up a little? There we go.
We didn't have any mail today, Man Cave.
You didn't?
No, I'm waiting on 5 or 6 products from Banggood, and they just finally finished sterilizing the packages, and now they're sending them. I hate waiting.
I know, babe, but it'll be soon enough, right?
Yeah. You should get 2 of your products soon, I hope.
Okay, hold on.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's just now. I'm just gonna hold it down. It doesn't feel like it's clean enough. There we go. Sorry, just needed it a little bit cleaner. I feel like some of these are holding on by wing and a prayer. And I definitely don't want that.
Did you put your shrink wrap back on it?
Honey, I don't need to yet.
Oh, okay.
I'm just I'm already anxious enough.
Just don't be. Just take your time.
It's okay. Thank you. I know you're going to hate this, but I need light. There we go. Okay, come on. Let's do this. Ooh. Now let's see if I can get this working right where I want it. Yep. I don't know why I wanted it curved up. Okay, there we go. Oh, Jesus. Come on, let's do this. Hold it down. Sorry, guys. Does it? Well,
Looks good.
there we go.
Yeah. She needs to order herself an XT 30 plug, and then she'll be all set to plug it in.
Check the failsafe. What's that? Or Corey's probably going, ah. It's okay.
Okay, Carpenter Rick. Catch you in a few minutes.
Oh, yeah, go shower. I'm going to try to. I got to get my hands in here correctly so I don't heat any other part of the board. Shit. Get on there. Right like that. Let's go. Perfect. Okay. What time is it?
6:38.
Okay. I don't want to go into 7 because
Okay, when you're done all that, there you can shut down because you've gone that far.
can I?
Well,
Is
it's
it
up
okay
to
with you?
Well, your choice. You don't want to go into 7, you twit
Does this look weird?
a little.
Yeah, no. I should not have had that big coffee before I started. Where's Centroid? I need Centroid. There we go. Okay, I just want to test this stuff before I turn everything on. Off. Okay, this one looks fine. Those are stuck like glue. Now, I'm assuming, well, that always scares the living daylights out of me.
Can I see? Vic? Okay, the blue middle one looks a little funky, but it's okay.
The blue. Oh, you know what? I have it over here and this one over there. Oh no, that's right. It just goes like that. Actually, the blue middle one, I don't know where I can put it so you can see it at its best. Blue middle
Okay.
one, the best looking one.
Okay. I was looking at it wrong.
Oh my God. Okay.
It's good.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you something. These pads don't look as small as what I was thinking.
Corey says doing good, Val, by the way.
It looks okay. Okay, so I got that on. Now I'm assuming there's nothing else to put on there.
Well, and do you do a continuity test?
What?
Well, that's for when
when I check the motors, see if they all work.
Oh, you still got to order your XT30, so you'll get it probably tomorrow.
Okay, if I order an XT30, it's not going to be here by tomorrow.
I thought because when you ordered those pliers, it only took a day to get them, right?
Sometimes that's the way it goes. Sometimes it's not. Oh, I see.
You have until next Tuesday.
Yes.
So you'll have them by now.
Okay. Okay.
Zero FPV. I didn't even know you were in here.
Hey, Zero.
How
My
you
bed
doing,
is
Zero?
calling here. It's funny. Zero, thank you. Thank you for coming in. If you hit
Take
the
care,
like,
Zero.
thank you for that too. I don't know how that gets in there like that.
Take care, Zero.
And guys, oh, didn't want to drop that. We have a show coming on, Kaboom. Hey, we're not going there yet, but Night Train's on tonight. For those of you who have not had enough, what I do? Night Train does really good. Okay, here we go. I'm just going to slowly pull all these out because I am going to go on with these. I'm going to do a little bit of that dry fit he was talking about. Oh, no, no, no. And see if all this fits. You know, the problem is I have really big fingers.
Well, you're just not used to it, but you'll get it.
It all goes down. Here we go.
Take care, Zero.
Yeah, take care, Zero. Thank you. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for leaving a like. I appreciate it.
Yeah, just watched. Oh my God.
You putting those little rubber plastic thingy dooies on?
Yep. I'm going to see if I dry fit this, if this is about what I want going here. There we go. Yeah, I like those.
Nice. Yep.
Yep, that looks good. I like that.
Hi, Blind Neil.
Use tweezers, yeah. The only thing that looks a little big are these wires, but I think I'm going to bring them back here.
Can I see it side view, hon? Like straight on, like.
Which kind? Like this?
Yeah. Can I see the flight board? Turn it. No, just turn it like that. Oh, yeah, that's it. I want to see the side. Is there any spacer between that? What's that little blue thing there?
This?
Where where the posts are. Are they like rubber bumper things?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was just curious what they were.
Yeah, that's all they are. And then, hold on, then these are going to go here.
Night Heath, Man Cave Hobbies is
Good
going.
night.
Night Heath.
Guys, don't forget, we got Night Train on in 15 minutes. So that might be something you might want to go check out because it's pretty good. So those are going to go back on there.
Oh, you're gonna put those on now, babe?
What? Yeah.
Okay, because I thought maybe you're gonna do a test first to see if it lights up.
Well, I might, but it's not hard to take off once you have it on, right?
Okay.
I just seeing how it all's fitting together.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I'm thinking, these are the little screws. But here's the thing, Kim, I'll show you. This is what I was thinking. So I have those in there, right? And then this is going towards the back. And I'm going to go ahead and fit that right on top.
What is that?
I believe this is what they call my
PTX?
Yeah. And it fits right on the very top and it goes backward. I'm just trying to see if anything is touching anything when I do this. I think what I'm going to do probably is put a couple more jumpers on there.
You mean a couple of little rubber. What about those white rubbery things I gave you?
Yeah. They're exactly what I'm using, dear. But I got a whole bunch that came with this. So what I was going to do is put a few on there just to make sure that it isn't loose. Does that make sense?
Yeah, one on each should be sufficient to clear the board so it doesn't touch anything.
So I'm gonna, how you doing, Jump Off? Sorry I couldn't talk to everyone. I was just like, I can't see anything and I was getting nervous. Yeah, probably just one. I've been putting two on it because of the way the antenna is hooked up right there. I'm not sure if that was perfect. Here we go. I'll see how high it holds it because I can always take one off.
And you got that wire connector that goes with that PTX?
But he said it may not be the one I want to use. So this is for the back. And this, look at all these.
Yeah, that goes, you'll have to solder those underneath on the light board. Yeah. That's where Louis comes in.
Yeah.
You'll probably have to reverse that, hon.
I'm not sure because see this goes out the back.
Yeah, but you see your pigtail thingy that you showed me, that wire, it's gonna be too long, so it's gonna be crushed in there. So I think you're gonna have to reverse it.
Well, may have to. I'm just doing a dry fit.
Yeah, because those other wires that are attached to that.
Honey, I'm gonna start shaking. I just.
Babe, I'm just talking.
I know.
There's no reason to shake or anything like that.
Honey, stop. Please.
Okay, do your thing.
No, that's not what I was saying. I'm just making sure. Okay, I'll show you what I'm doing. If this is backward, it doesn't matter because I'm not actually putting it together. What I'm doing is I'm just making sure it's going to fit underneath once I put these on. That's all I'm doing. So it doesn't need to be the right. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm building the Canadian multi-goat final track. Oh, you are?
Cool, Corey.
Night, guys. So, guys, it's only 4 minutes left, or 10 minutes left, and we got night train. I want to see if these really, if there's enough room for all this. Okay, hold on. Oh, I may be doing it not the right way with these little arms that stick up. I need the smaller ones. Okay. Guys, I really appreciate you joining me and being part of this. We'll catch you Sunday night. I am interviewing Desmond Dunders, and it should be really nice. And then Kim's going to come on for a half hour just talking FPV, which I think you guys will enjoy. Don't forget, night train's on tonight. The whistle stopped, so head on over if you have time.